Hi everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. I found a video from, what is it called? The Gentle Life or something? And it's answering all your questions. And one of the questions in the thumbnail is, are you exploiting her? Which, yes, she is, okay? But I would like to watch this video and just see what she says.
Is there a history of autism in your family? How does it affect the twins? Do you feel like you are exploiting Mikko?
It'll be interesting.
And our page is about autism, early intervention, and our journey.
If it's our, then why is it all about Mikko? Because in every thumbnail, it's Mikko's face.
Okay, so it is the end of 2023. We have been on YouTube for 1 year now, and I decided to
For 1 year, and they've got 572,000 subscribers. That's pretty good.
do a Q&A for you guys and for a lot of our newcomers because there's a lot that they don't know. So I asked you guys to comment some questions, some things that you guys wanted to know, and all questions were welcome. So we're gonna go through the list and hopefully I'm able to answer the questions for you guys. So here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna read them off of my phone. Okay, so the first question is, as an autistic mom, how do you handle when you get overwhelmed and overstimulated but still need to adult?
Stop.
I think that is a really good question. Honestly, I just kind of count in my head. I go through a series where to get my thoughts from running so that I can focus on what's at hand, I will count. I count to go to sleep. Numbers are my thing. I kind of just have to put myself in her shoes and kind of think, what would I want? What would I need, for me to calm down, for me to feel safe? And that usually helps me. Second question, I would love to know about how Mikko's condition and the way you guys have handled her. How does it affect the twins, if at all? That is a really great.
Why does a random stranger on the internet want to know about a random child's condition? It's just weird.
Question, and it was one of the most liked questions that we got, so it told me that a lot of people really wanted to know. I think that
Yeah, a lot of people really want to know about what is wrong with this child. That's what everybody wants to know. Like, that is very weird.
whether or not Mikko is autistic or whether or not the twins are autistic or autism is in the picture, I think that having siblings, everybody is affected when there's one adult, that is trying to focus on 2, 3, 4, 5 different individuals. It's going to affect everybody differently. With Matthew and Mackenzie, I constantly have to remind myself and also remind them that Mikko just needs a little extra help, and a lot of the times they are very helpful and very understanding in helping with Mikko and being really great big brother and big sisters. And for them, I always try to space out time for them. So they're at school most of the time for majority of the day, but they know that there is a time of the day that they can come to me and we have our one-on-one talks, and they seem to really more. But yeah, I think it's just a constant reminder, but I think that that's just something that all siblings are going to go through. I think it affects them all. Not the same, but it's going to affect them. Precious, how did you feel when you were diagnosed with autism at 29 years old? What compelled you to seek a diagnosis in the first place? Had you suspected that to be the case as a teenager or young adult, and were you taken aback? Thank you. I did not know growing up that I was autistic. I did not know as a teenager, as a young adult. I did not know much about autism. I did work with adult individuals that had autism earlier in my young adulthood when I first started working. I didn't quite understand it. I'm naturally a nice person to anybody, and I automatically just feel for everybody to understand what made me what I realized that I did and things that I felt, and also read that and spoke with professionals that said that typically when a child is autistic, more than likely one or both of the parents could as well be autistic.
All right, let's just move on.
Because it just made me feel like, oh my God, if I knew this earlier, my parents knew this earlier, a lot of the things that I struggle with now would not have been a problem. Would not be a problem now, so. Okay, next question. I would like to inquire what made you decide home therapy versus outpatient therapy for Mikko to help aid in speech, language, fine motor skill development? Honestly, circumstance. When we first found out about Mikko possibly having autism, my husband was in the military, and we were living on base. And so when you're in the military, you can only go and see specific doctors. And we had started the process with them in the military, and let her go into clinical history of autism in your family. How long have you known you had autism? What kind of issues did you personally have that made you realize there may be something wrong? So right now it's been a year since I've known that I've had autism, and
let's go to the next one.
I didn't know that it was autism, and neither did my parents. And I don't have the best relationship with my mom, but I don't think she knew. As a Black person myself, I know that there is a little stigma on disability in the Black community. If comfortable sharing, what was your family's reaction when you were first diagnosed? No one in my family has said anything to me. Again, I do not live by my family. I'm about 1,200 miles away from them and have been 1,200 miles away from them for like the past 4 or 5 years. So I'm not very close with them. I talked to my aunt. My aunt is the one who pretty much raised me and my sisters. So I think she's always known. She's always been like this gentle person. She's level of autism before you manage to gain a routine. What was the hardest part? Honestly, Mikko was very, very easy. Very easy. We didn't start seeing a lot of these issues with Mikko until she turned 3, which was this past July. So prior to her turning 3, the only big issue that we had or concern that we had was the fact that she was not talking. As far as like understanding us or following commands, this is the time. Would you give a parent that's been in denial about their child? I honestly don't think that there is much that you can tell a parent that with, because this journey is just as important for the parent as it is for the kid. Do I think Mikko will ever speak normally? I think a lot of the misconception about autism is that people think that you can magically get rid of it, and so I think a lot of people have a lot of hope for Mikko, and as do we have a lot of hope for her. But I mean, I don't even think that decision is up to Mikko. I think if Mikko could talk, I think that she would. I think that if Mikko could say things, then she would. I think the problem is that she doesn't know how. And honestly, if we could get her into speech therapy, I would honestly be so surprised if somebody could get her to talk.
I just have to say, like, I don't have experience with autism or anything like that, but from what she's saying, Mikko can learn to talk. Like, I am pretty sure she can learn to talk, and then in the future it may just take a while, but things can happen, and she probably can learn to talk in the future. She can say things now, and like even when saying little things like Coco Melon, and then she said right there when pointing to it, like I could understand that. So I think she will be able to talk in the future. She just needs to get the right therapies and learn how to speak properly. It may take a little bit longer, but she will be able to talk in the future. Like, there is a lot of people that people said, oh, they probably won't talk and everything like that, and they can talk now. So I really do think she will be able to talk. She just needs to get the right therapies and then learn how to talk properly, and she'll be able to talk, no problem.
It's not that I don't think that she ever will, is that I think it's going to be a very, very, very hard journey for her. If she does learn to talk, absolutely happy, have no issue with that. I would love for her to talk. If she does not, absolutely have no problem with that. I would love for her to just learn how to communicate her needs and her wants, however way that she can. That is a healthy way to do so. I know that Mikko is autistic, but has there ever been a time where she had a major outburst, like throwing things or hitting people, yelling and screaming? Not very many, and I can't remember what we were doing, but she did go through a phase of like 2 weeks where she was hitting her brother and sister. I have no idea why, but she thought it was funny. She wasn't doing it like in a malicious way. She just thought it was really funny to hit them, and I think she loved what they said after, like, ow. I think that she thought that was funny. But as far as like screaming and stuff, we did go through, she was terrible, a deeper issue, something like that. So, do you ever regret listening to the doctors that told you Mikko was autistic? I already knew that she was autistic when I took her to the doctor. I'd already done my research. I have no reason to regret finding out how to help my child. I don't think that that's anything that I'll ever regret, even if it was never.
No offense, but you can't do research on the internet and diagnose your own child. The reason why you go to a doctor is so they can diagnose your child. You can't just Google some things on the internet and be like, oh, that's what's wrong with me. Like, I got a sore knee right now, so should I just Google that, see what's wrong with my knee, and then just diagnose myself?
Name for it. When the facts are the facts, I don't care who told me. So no, I do not regret it. Do you feel like you are exploiting Mikko? I think that this is probably not the most asked question, but I think people are curious to see if I'd answer it, because there have been comments on our videos where people are asking, or they're saying, oh, I feel like you're exploiting Mikko. And I think that there are people that feel this way about any parent that is showing their child on the internet, whether it be a picture, whether it be awareness. I honestly do not think it matters what it is. I think that there are some people out there that feel like if you post your child, you are exploiting them. And I don't even think that it matters if you're getting paid or not getting paid. I feel like they think that that's exploitation. I also want to point out that I don't think that people are actually using the word exploitation properly. I think that people correlate it with just saying, well, if you post your kid online for money, then it's exploitation. But they're also forgetting what exploitation means. The fact that Mikko is not being harmed, she is getting the care that she needs outside of posting online. Our videos are to spread awareness about autism, and we are not a family page. We are not a page where you're going to see us just doing videos about anything. Our page is just really strictly about autism. I feel like there's like really no...
It doesn't matter what your page is about, what you're trying to do. You have a child on there, and people want to see that child. It doesn't matter. You have 572,000 subscribers. In that amount of subscribers, you will have 30% of creeps or something. So I think it differs with each person or account or something like that. But so let's just say 20 to 15% is creeps. So that's who is watching online. And it doesn't matter if you're just trying to bring awareness or anything, or your page is just simply this type of content and it's not this type of content. It doesn't matter what type of content. You have a child on there. And yes, you are exploiting that child. That child did not give you the consent to say, yes, you can film me. This child is not aware. This child is also disabled. This child is not aware of the internet and what goes on and who is watching and what these people say. I haven't gone through and looked at messages, but I'm sure there is weird messages there. There always is. If you really look, there is always weird messages when there is videos of children. Anytime there is a child in the videos, it's child exploitation. Whether anybody wants to argue it or not, it is. And these people always think it's not, but it is. This is also a disabled child, which is worse because this child doesn't fully understand what the internet is and what's going on. And parents like this like to argue about it and say, what I'm doing is fine because it's okay. This channel is not like the other family ones. It's just about this and it's just bringing awareness. Yeah, but you're still filming your child. You're still doing this. You're doing close-up shots of her mouth. No. Whether you think that's okay or not, anyone can take anything. And you should stop doing that because it's not appropriate. If you want to bring awareness, you can do that without showing your child. If you want to show her every once in a while, then sure. But you don't need to show her. You can bring awareness by talking about it yourself. You don't need to show her.
Real answer for that, because people are going to feel and think how they are going to. I think that people just have to be mindful of...
So just leave that in. Leave a clip of your child not wearing pants. That's not exploiting your child. People specifically look for clips like this and put them in playlists. Why not at least blur it out so nobody can see anything and nobody can use that footage? You've left that footage in there and not blown it out, not done anything to protect your child.
Yeah. I think people just have to be mindful of what information they're putting out for their kids.
Exactly. You need to be mindful of what you're putting out there. And people have information of your child. You have put information out there regarding your child and people have taken it. You just let a clip go by with your child not wearing any pants. Are you being mindful of what you're putting out there of your child?
There are those out there that are really exploiting their kids, and not just on YouTube, but in movies, on commercials, and other ways that people aren't even really thinking of.
So just because this is not movies or commercials or anything like that, it's not exploitation. And maybe because she's not making as much money or filming Mikko as much as any other family YouTuber, it's okay. Well, it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay to film Mikko like this. You are still exploiting Mikko, whether you think it's okay or not. It is still exploitation, and you are still exploiting Mikko.
But whether or not they feel the way that they feel, I still feel like I'm helping people, and that is my intent, is to help people.
Whether it's your intent or not, people can take anything and twist it and make it gross. And unfortunately, you've left room for interpretation for people to do that. So it's you can still bring awareness without showing your child. It's as simple as that.
Do you wonder about the future for your family and what her future might look like? Absolutely, and I think that every parent does, whether their kid is neurotypical or autistic or any other disability or anything else. I think that that's across the board. We don't know what it'll look like. We are also do a video about that, and I'll link that above to go more in depth about that too. Okay, somebody would like to know if we have ever gotten bullied for being autistic. I have gotten bullied before growing up. Was it because of me being autistic? No, because I had no clue. I think that people bullied me because of my differences. I don't think that they knew or understood why they were bullying me. I think that I was just different than other people, and so kids are going to bully because they don't like themselves, because they have issues at home. There's lots of and tons of reasons why somebody's going to bully somebody. If you are being bullied, I am so sorry that you are going through that. I would say that you should speak to somebody, whoever you feel like you are comfortable with, and try and be very open with your parents. I hope your parents are going to be very open to you. Matthew gets bullied a lot at school, and a lot of the times I am trying to push him to overcome it, and I'm pushing him to, stand up for himself. But there are times also where I'm like, no, you know what, I'm going to say something. I'm going to remove him from the situation. Like these past 2 weeks before winter break, he didn't want to ride the bus because people were talking about him out loud and being very mean to him. And this is their first year riding the bus, so
They could also be bullying and talking about him because you have a YouTube channel. You said you've only been doing this for a year and you already have 500,000 subscribers. People know who you are. I'm sure people know who you are in your area. You've shown your children, so people know who your kids are. And those kids the older twins, I haven't really watched a lot of this, but the older twins, I'm sure their friends or peers have seen them on here and know that they're on YouTube. So they're going to get bullied. That also comes with showing your kids on YouTube. That's another thing with you having to be careful with posting your kids. Them getting bullied on here. So that could be the reason that he's getting bullied, is because you're on here showing them on YouTube just willingly. Like you don't care. If you take them off YouTube, you are protecting them. You are protecting them from getting bullied. You are protecting them from online creeps. You're protecting them from a lot. You don't need them online to get a following. If you are smart enough and you really care about what you're trying to do, you can have a YouTube following and be successful on here. You don't need your children to do that.
But yeah, so I didn't allow him to get on the bus. I let him, I took him to school because I want to be on his side. I want him to feel comfortable enough to come and talk to me and tell me and know that I'm going to help him. So, but I hope this answers most of you guys' questions.
You guys, seriously, I think everybody needs to go back to school and learn proper grammar and how to say proper words and sentences. It's not you guys's.
Feel free to keep asking questions. You can always email me. I want to thank you guys for a wonderful first year on YouTube. It has been amazing. You guys have taught us a lot, as well as I'm glad that we're able to teach you guys a lot too. And so with that being said, welcome to 2024.
I just don't like, obviously, kids getting exploited. And I don't like when disabled kids are getting exploited because, like, I'm an adult now, but I am disabled, and I wouldn't want my stuff being put out there. So I can only imagine being a child and having no choice that everything is out there. And I don't really care what this mum says. I really don't. She is exploiting her child. She's just trying to say it in a way that she doesn't feel bad because she doesn't want to believe that she is exploiting her child. And maybe she needs to do some research and look at what people are really doing with footage of family vloggers and what really happens to these kids, because it's not good. And she's only been on here for a year, so she has time to go back. She has time to stop filming her kids and take those videos down and start doing other content, focusing on herself. That would be okay. But she has time to redirect her channel, go do something else, focusing on herself. But she needs to wake up because she's lying to herself about exploiting the kids. She is exploiting them, especially Mikko. And Mikko doesn't have a choice, and that's not fair. Mikko should have a choice. She gets to decide when she's 18 if she wants to talk about her medical issues. Them her medical issues. She is a person. Anyway, if you watch this video, I really do appreciate it. I know I got a little bit heated there. But like, subscribe, it will really help me out. So yes, thank you. Bye.